So we had a pretty good idea who were the players and who needed to be stopped. And the more you watched him, the more you saw certain weaknesses, I think, that we could exploit.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers, fiercely local, fiercely loyal.
If you think back, and I know that was a lot of games ago.
Oh, I remember.
But what was it that you thought was the key to playing against the best team in the nation?
Well, we did a great job preparing and watching who they were, first of all. So we watched who they were that entire year. We watched every single game, scouted every single game, on paper. So we had a pretty good idea who were the players and who needed to be stopped. And the more you watched them, the more you saw certain weaknesses, I think, that we could exploit. And we had some very good players too, Will Smith, Kenny Peterson, you could go
Darian
on and
Scott,
on.
yep.
Yeah, we had some great ones. Guys that played, I think everyone who started in that game had a career of some sort in the NFL on defense.
Oh yeah.
But we had been a big zone pressure team, a lot of zone pressures. And
now, what's the zone pressure? Remember, the viewers here are business people and they're educators and they're coaches. Help everyone know what a zone pressure is, because they're going to hear this on TV, of course, when they're watching games this fall. So what's the zone pressure in 30 seconds or less?
Well, if you're playing a man pressure, you're going to pressure people and play man-to-man defense. You're going to bring more people. And usually 4 guys rush at a time in a 4-man front. Usually 4 men rush. So if you play zone pressures, now you're incorporating one more person to rush. And in one of the gaps up front, A gap, B gap, C gap, where the guard and tackle are, center and guard are. And people are moving, there's movement, and you bring one more than they maybe they accounted for. Usually they do account for those, but at the time in 2002, the zone pressures were really something that had taken off in the late 90s. And we were sort of at the forefront of that with Nick Saban and Dean Pease, but we had certain people in that were doing that at the NFL level, and we would learn from them. So we took some of those aspects and developed that, brought that to Ohio State. The biggest thing that happened, though, in that game is we found a way, and I always believed, and you would always ask me, when do we play best? And I'd say, well, when we play fast.
That's
You
right.
say, well, when do we play fast? I said, when we know what to do. He said, and you always used to say, keep it simple. So my challenge was always being comprehensive, but staying simple. Simple yet comprehensive. So what we did was we changed our defense up so that the outside backer, who normally rushed in a zone pressure, became Will Smith, who was a defensive end. So we would still rush 5, but it was 5 different players in the same concept, same conceptually way. You could drop 3 different defenses. They'd all be going the different way, but it'd be different people doing it. So in that game, for example, Matt Wilhelm, I remember he blitzed 28 times. And we had a great player in the name of Chris Gamble, who I remember you used to tell me, oh, you can't have Chris Gamble. He played 8 plays last game. And he was like the 3rd or 4th wide receiver, and I kept saying, got to have a guy that can cover. So we took him. He said, you can have him for 5 minutes. So we took him down and played some one-on-one, and the guy was incredible. So we taught him how to, again, simplify and comprehensive. We said, hey, if you play this technique and we stick your fist up, that's what you play. Well, we could play 6 different coverages with her fist up, and that's what he would do. If you put your hand here, it was too deep. If you went here, it was man. If you was here, it was blitz coverage. He had 4 things to learn, but he could play any defense we had out there. We just kept sticking him in the game until you finally gave him to us for half the practice. But he covered their good guy. Yeah. I can't remember who the guy was, but he was
Andre
phenomenal.
Johnson just went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, he'll be there. I got to remember his name. Andre Johnson.
No, he just went in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so Chris was inside out on that guy and had him basically in coverage. And then We set our front up to be able to blitz a variety of different ways from the same conception, from a different conceptual look, but be able to do that. That's why we won. And then on the last play of the game, we went back to a standard thing, brought C. Grant off the edge and wrecked the quarterback, won the championship.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers, fiercely local, fiercely loyal.